It's so easy to have a negative perspective, so easy to be judgmental and critical. But can we just be neutral? Can we get curious? Welcome back to Getting Divorced Without Losing Your Mind. I am Corey Shapiro. You did it. It's the third part in the series on emotional judo. And if you haven't caught the last 3 steps, check out my prior 2 episodes. Or if you just want to jump right in to the final 2 steps of this emotional judo, you're in the right place. And, emotional judo is, I think, a big shift in the divorce. And I think it's a big shift because what it's really trying to do is short circuit our tendencies, our emotional reaction tendencies, and try to use our big prefrontal cortex, our big brains, to try to get us through this. I know it's going to be hard. I know your body's going to be a little stressed. And I know you're going to be really angry and frustrated. But can you take a moment and settle yourself and balance yourself? And when you come from that place, what you can do, just focus on your breathing. Focus on your shoulders. Can you be relaxed? I think you're going to really get a lot out of this. Everything's going to really help you get to where you want to go a little faster. All right, so let's just make sure we know what we've already covered. We got our sea legs with offering emotional support. We shift our focus from us to them because we want to be persuasive. Next 2, where we're steering the boat through choppy waters, was get to yes. We're finding small agreements. We're not focusing on position polarization. We're listening through the noise. We're not getting distracted. We're not getting into the soup, into the fire. We're stepping away. That's what we're doing. And today, we're docking this boat. We're docking this boat with our final 2, which is curiosity over criticism and asking, not demanding. Don't be demanding. Don't be demanding. All right, so step 4, respond with curiosity, not criticism. Probably really hard to do, probably really even hard to hear this. I'm changing your perspective. Changing your perspective, which is probably very negative. Not necessarily to a positive perspective, which is the perspective you should be in a happy marriage, but maybe just to a neutral perspective. We're trying to be curious. It's so easy to have a negative perspective, so easy to be judgmental and critical. But can we just be neutral? Can we get curious? That's step 4. Let's try this out. Let's see if it works. Okay, we're working on our divorce now. Let's just see if it works. Let's see if this makes you activated. I'm taking all your money. I'm taking all your money. Now, if someone said that to me in a divorce context, that's probably unfair because I know that's probably not going to happen, but it's activating. So can I offer emotional support? Can I do all these steps? Can I be curious? Can I get to yes? I don't know. I'm just activated. I'm in myself. I'm defensive. Okay. If you're feeling that way, pause. This is judo. If you're scared of even getting into the ring a little bit, then step away and pause. And that's where you can do this through your attorneys. You can come back to this where you feel stronger. But if you get into the point where, you did the work, you got to the place where you probably could try to do this. And that's just a cry for help, an emotional expression that's inartful. It's not, we need to translate what they're saying. Can we think of, why would someone say that? I'm taking all your money. Can we be curious? Or what would we say? Sounds like financial security is really important to you. No, I'm taking all your money. You're not going to have any money. Sounds like you're really upset. Do you want to talk about it? See, I'm just trying to observe what they're doing. It's not really about me. I'm just trying to shift. Now, if this escalates and you don't have this type of dynamic, then step away. But if you could try it and you halfway can talk about things because you do have children and you're trying to have a neutral, at least a neutral co-parenting relationship, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work to tune things down because maybe the other person is just grieving and mad and angry and trying to get to you in some way, trying to get under your skin because they're really sad. They're really sad. More articulate way of saying it would be, I'm really scared about getting divorced and I'm really scared about my financial future. It's really causing me a lot of anxiety. And I don't really hear that much. If you did, then that's not going to be a challenging divorce. That's going to be a much more simple divorce. And you're going to work through issues logically, but that's probably not what most people do. Okay. As after a lot of work, you would do that. And that's what this is for. This is our training. Let's do this work. And let's move to step 5. You've been here long enough. Let's do step 5, which is ask, don't demand. Don't be demanding. Ask open-ended questions. In divorce, we regress. All of us regress when we're activated. Any type of activations, we're regressing. So it's hard for us to bring in our big brains. We're so emotional, overriding our big brains, and that's how we get stuck. So can we shift it? Can we shift it to just asking, being curious, and just the ask is very similar to step 4, but now we're asking something just to see how we can resolve things. Hey, I'm really worried about how we're going to figure out our finances moving forward, how we're going to figure out support. And I'm just trying to figure that out, especially when we have 2 homes. What are your thoughts on that? We're just asking. We're just asking. We're not making demands. Demands would be, I want to pay you, X, and I'm going to pay you that for a year. That's not what we're doing. To judo is we're not trying to give someone a target to just, haggle. We're not trying to haggle. If you want to haggle, I would suggest doing that in mediation because then they're going to get underneath the positions. But don't haggle. Don't haggle on positions. You're just talking about interests. And how do you see this working? And if you could deal with someone who is halfway reasonable, you could bring in a financial person, look over your budget in this example, and just go through how you're going to do it. And then you're going to get some clarity. And you might realize I can't even afford a divorce. We're going to have to live together for at least until the kids leave. Oh, who would have thought that? And maybe then things will change in your relationship. I'm not sure. Or your expectations of what your separation life will look like and what you need for that will change too. So that's what this is about. This is getting you to reality. And I also want to make sure you understand this. Divorce is much more than the settlement. It's much more than that judgment. It's much more than I just got to get divorced. No, divorce is really, if you have kids, it's lifelong. And whatever you do early on affects what you do later on. Okay? Don't you want to go to graduations and birthday parties or big events and even a wedding? Don't you want to do that and have that to be a loving, peaceful event? Very hard to go from war and your divorce to having that. And you're really hurting. The collateral damage is really your child and your relationship with the child. And I'm trying to help you make better choices in your family. That's my point here, helping you make better choices. And that's what I do for my clients too. All right, here's our reset question. What's one small change you can make in your next tough conversation? What's one small change you can make? Can you pause before reacting? Could that be the change? Just take that pause. Doesn't have to be 24 hours, but if you're activated, really activated, remember these conversations, these steps don't have to be done, in order right after the other. You can take breaks. It's like learning to play tennis. Just don't go out there and play a set or a match. You might learn backhands. You might learn forehands. You might learn volleys. You might learn how the scoring works. They might play a few points. So think of this as just building blocks until you're ready to play a game, a set, and a match. And if you can't do that, that's okay. That's why we have attorneys and other professionals to help you through it, but now you're going to become more aware of what's really going on. So you don't have to spend so much on your divorce budget, your time, money, energy, and emotion. Right. If you could do this for me on this, if this, emotional judo is helpful for you, or you think it needs more refinement, please reach out to me. You can send a voicemail to question@gettingdivorced.org, or you can send me an email at feedback@gettingdivorced.org. Try to make this as easy as possible so you can absorb this. This could be actionable, and you can make real changes in your divorce. So the better I get at this, it's going to help me be a better teacher for the next people who are going to hear these podcasts when I redo it. And I want to redo it because it's repetition. You got to do repetition. You can't just hear it once and, I got it. No. You know how long it's taken me to work on my backhand and I still don't have it down. It's never ending, but I do get better. And that's what I want from you, to get better. Because I want you to become more creative and less reactive in your divorce. I'm Corey Shapiro. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for working on your divorce, not just in it. It's really going to make a difference. Good luck.
Thank you for tuning in to the Getting Divorced Without Losing Your Mind podcast. We would love to hear your feedback. Send Corey an email to feedback@gettingdivorced.org. And if you've read his book, please consider leaving an Amazon review. This podcast offers general information only. It cannot replace legal advice. If you need tailored advice, contact an attorney licensed to practice in your area.